Illusions by Edmund Blunden. Trenches in the moonlight, in the lulling moonlight, have their loveliness. When dancing dewy grasses caressed us passing along their earthly lanes. When the crucifix hanging over was strangely illuminated, and one imagined music. One even heard the brave bird in the sighing orchestra, in the sighing orchids, in the sighing orchards flute above the weedy well. There are such moments. Forgive me that I note them. Nor glows that there comes the nemesis of beauty, in the fluttering relics that at the first glimmer wakened. Terror, the no man's ditch suddenly forking. There, the enemy's best with bombs and brains and courage. Softly, swiftly, at once be animal and angel. But oh, no, no, their death's malkins dangling in the wire for the moon's interpretation. And that was a little bit of poems of the Great War, of course, World War I poetry. Sadly, most of those poets did not make it out of the trenches. They died in the trenches. And I walk through a room lined with books. Most of these books are about war. And I look for the best book about war to give you a Memorial Day reading here. And what did I find? But of course, Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. So here we are, just a little bit of Hemingway. They ought to feed them better. We are big eaters. I am sure there is plenty of food. It is very bad for the soldiers to be short of food. Have you ever noticed the difference it makes in the way you think? Yes, I said. It can win a war. It can't win a war, but it can lose one. We won't talk about losing. There is enough talk about losing. What has been done this summer cannot have been done in vain. I did not say anything. I was always embarrassed by the words sacred, glorious, and sacrifice, and the expression in vain. We had heard them sometimes standing in the rain, almost out of earshot, so that only the shouted words came through, and had read them on proclamations that were slapped up by bill posters over other proclamations, now for a long time. And I had seen nothing sacred, and the things that were glorious had no glory, and the sacrifices were like the stockyards at Chicago, if nothing was done with the meat except to bury it. There were many words that you could not stand to hear, and finally only the names of places had dignity. Certain numbers were the same way, and certain dates, and with these the names of the places were all you could say, and have them mean anything. Abstract words such as glory, honor, courage, or hallow were obscene beside the concrete name of villages, the numbers of roads and the names of rivers, the numbers of regiments and the dates. Gino was a patriot, so he said things that separated us sometimes. But he was also a fine boy, and I understood his being a patriot. He was born one. Oh, hello. I didn't see you guys come in. Let's get started on Bitcoin Talk Show. Today is Memorial Day in the United States. That's a day where we remember people who fought in wars and so forth, protecting this country, defending this country, aggressing against other countries. There's ups and downs to it. Today is Monday, May 27th, 2019. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is up 2% this morning with a last of 80, 80, 82. It's a 8,882. It's flickering up and down on my monitor. We're hoping that it could break 9,000 in time for this show. Then we could put up some Vegeta memes and the whole internet will go crazy. For whatever reason, this guy from Dragon Ball Z, he means 9,000. He's Mr. 9,000. So we're looking out for Mr. 9,000. The price of Bitcoin in Satoshis is $1 for 11,262 Satoshis, just completely hopping over the 15,000 barrier. Seems only a few weeks ago we were at 16, 18,000 Satoshis, now just 11,000. We're very close to the 10,000 Satoshi barrier. Below that, there was a point where it was at 5,000 Satoshis. We haven't seen that in a long time. It's Memorial Day in the US. I did a little Google search for it, and here are the headlines that I got back. Chicago shootings, more than 34 shot, 5 fatally during Memorial Day weekend. So sad news from Chicago. Which stores are open on Memorial Day? Shopping, shopping, gotta get that money. And 2020 Dems joined together for video honoring Memorial Day. So, just a reminder, we've got some great holidays, but we've also got some different ways of using the holidays. I think the most popular thing you're gonna hear about Memorial today is that there's a sale. Maybe the second popular is that there's a barbecue. Check out worldcryptonetwork.com for more information about the World Crypto Network. We've got a link to our podcast there where you can listen to these shows in audio. We've also got a donation button. We've got it all at worldcryptonetwork.com. I was doing some Googling this morning of the old World Crypto Network, always curious to see what the internet's saying about us. And I found this article from 3 months ago from the New York Post, major newspaper, says Staten Island man accused of duping investors with anonymous hacker mask. And there it is, a World Crypto Network video right there on the New York Post. How about that? There's an interesting story. I don't know much about it. I'm not certainly involved, but there's a company called Cabbage Tech that used to get investors to send them money. The investors thought they were paying for advice and strategies on cryptocurrency trading, but allegedly McDonald pocketed the cash instead, according to prosecutors. He once dubbed himself the Coyote of Wall Street and duped his victims into thinking his firm was legit. YouTube video allegedly shows the fake cryptocurrency trader talking about virtual cash like Bitcoin while wearing the Guy Fawkes mask. So it sounds like a Ponzi scheme type situation, allegedly. Um, he faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. He appeared in court without his mask and was unable to post bail. If this is a show from Block Talk, shout out to Block Talk and our Canadian friends. We used to host them on the World Crypto Network. So as it turns out, I hadn't seen this show. I checked out a little bit of it. Seemed like a good interview. The guy provided his information, but you could see in the comments already that people thought this was a scam. The people from the World Crypto Network could already see through this as a potential scam. But once again, that information doesn't necessarily get out to everyone, especially the potential victims of such a scam. So interesting to see World Crypto Network videos being used as evidence, and even more interesting to say that I have no idea that any of this is going on. I'm not for or against it. It's something that's happening. I'm glad not to be involved, but it's nice to be in the New York Post. Can't beat that. This reminds me of another story where I interviewed the CEO of Kick in San Francisco at the San Francisco Bitcoin meetup. Shout out to Kyle Torpy for writing an article about it and listening to my interview. The Kick CEO said, as Kyle notes in the headline, doing an ICO is our only way to compete with Facebook. It was really interesting take that he had on the world there, why they were raising their token, what they were doing. And it's even more interesting now that we see Facebook actually rumbling about making a coin. So his only way to compete with Facebook is something that now Facebook themselves are doing, although they're doing it in a different way than Kick. And the reason I bring this up today is watch why this video could doom Kick's SEC fight. And this is also an old article. I knew about this a couple of months ago, but apparently, allegedly, etc., during this video where I interviewed the CEO of Kick, seems like a nice guy. He apparently said something like that the coin would be worth money or that it would go up in value, which apparently you can't say before you release a coin. I'm not sure on the exact details here, not claiming to be a lawyer. But once again, interesting to see World Crypto Network videos being used as evidence. Once again, we're only interviewing the people. If they say something good or bad, it's all on them. It's all on their own. So interesting stuff. Keeping an eye on those trials right there. $130 million in Bitcoin shorts were liquidated and may have supercharged the Bitcoin price to 9,000. That's a lot of shorts. If you're looking for a reason for the $9,000 breakout, it might be these shorts, although longtime followers of the show know that the price of Bitcoin tends to go up whenever I go on tour. And if you're really keeping track of things tightly, you'll note that I'm about to go on tour tomorrow. So we're keeping up on that. We have more information on that coming up later in the show. Like I said, doing a little Google searching for Bitcoin, it's all the price, the price, the price, the price, and the price. But it's great to see that they're back. Welcome back, mainstream media. You used to only write about how Bitcoin's dead. Now you're back to writing about the price. So that's great. Kyle Torpy again. Facebook's upcoming cryptocurrency has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I agree with Kyle here. I think it's a good and a little sensationalistic headline. But I do agree with him. It's going to have nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's not going to be it's likely not to be a cryptocurrency. We'll see if you can really trade it or hold it in your own wallet or really possess it on your own. It might be a fenced in cryptocurrency that you can trade on exchanges, but only the exchange is able to accept the cryptocurrency or to accept the tokens or whatever they may be. But it is going to promote Bitcoin. It's going to promote the idea of Bitcoin because the way that you explain it to people is you say that Facebook coin is kind of like Bitcoin. And that association is getting Bitcoin out there everywhere. All of Facebook's marketing, all of their videos, all of their information teaching people how to use this coin, whether they mention Bitcoin or not, whether they mention cryptocurrency or not, is a huge, giant on ramp, join now sign that it's time for you to get on board with crypto. You've been waiting on the sidelines saying, oh, I'm not into Bitcoin, I'm not into crypto, all this stuff keeps happening. Now, Facebook launches their own coin. It'll be a huge, huge sign for Bitcoin, huge thing. Even though I agree with Kyle, it has nothing to actually do with Bitcoin, at least until they give up on Facebook coin and they start using Bitcoin instead. Crypto analyst says 95% accurate. That's a lot. Bitcoin indicator calls Bitcoin at $1 million. That sounds nice. Why analysts are adamant Bitcoin rally is just getting started after 130% gain. And yes, I did happen to look at the old Bitcoin tracker app the other day. And sometimes it's always good to go back into the past. It used to be more depressing, but now it's okay. You can click on 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Pretty much they all look green. It's pretty amazing. But 130% is a lot of gains. You might want to take 10 or 20% of those gains, pay off some credit card bills, hold that aside for paying some future bills, pay some rent, pay back some debts. It's always good. Even though I like to hodl, I always tell people take 5%, take 3%. If the crazy thing goes up 130%, that's twice of what you used to have plus 30%. So you got more than enough to take a little bit out, pay some of your bills, get rid of some of your responsibilities, pay down your house, whatever it is. It's a good idea to take some profits. So, Bitcoin price jumps another $1,000 to hit 12-month high. Woo! But who can take profits at a time like this? It just keeps going up. But that's what happens to you. You get swept up in that. So get 1%, get 2%. Doesn't have to be that much. Just trim a little off there. Buy yourself a toy, pay for a toy that you already bought. Bitcoin price will nosedive after dead cat bounce, says crypto blogger. Well, that's always the way. You say things are going up, you say things are going down. It covers you both way, but he might be right. I haven't even read the article. I don't even care that much, but we did go up really fast. We are on one of those straight up runs. So whenever we're on a straight up run, we do always seem to come back a little. So if you wanted to, take some out or buy some back later, or maybe you're looking to re-enter the market, there's usually a little dip and you can get back in. Although I did see Richard Hart all over Twitter. Apparently he's a bull again. And he was all, there'll never be a dip again. This was your last time. You had your last chance, which is a great, it's totally believable sometimes. Some people believe it. Sometimes it'll be true, but you never know until it's actually that time. But it's another one like it'll go up and it'll go down that like it's going to the moon. It's a great thing to cheer on. It's a great thing to say. I saw an interesting video on the Bitcoin.com YouTube channel of all places. Maybe somebody in the chat can explain this to me, or someone can write back in the comments. I'm not saying this is true, but I am interested in it. So, for those of you who don't know, Tone Vase had a bet with Roger Ver that his $5 Bitcoin transaction would clear the network within 24 hours based upon sending like a penny in fees, right? Now, there's a bit of confusion where I don't know the exact terms of the bet. I haven't watched the video. I'm not going to document or detail the goofy bet they made, but it's something like $10,000, and it's that this $5 transaction would go. Now, there's some confusion if it's before the end of the day or before a 24-hour period. So the transaction closed within 10 hours. However, the day ended within 8 hours. So I don't know if that means a win or not. But what's interesting about the transaction and how it cleared, and Roger Ver brings this up in his video, is that it only had 0.01, a penny. Yet, as we can see here in this list, it was above other transactions that paid $3, $4, $2, $10. And Roger's point here is that Bitcoin costs $3 to send, and Tone's point is that it costs a penny. Not sure why his transaction was included above these. There are people saying that there was a transaction accelerator, or that maybe Slush Pool or another pool perhaps cheated so that Tone could win. Maybe they don't like Roger, that kind of thing. But this is an interesting anomaly. I don't know much about it. If you guys can tell me more, that somehow that they, it's okay that it was included first because it was the last transaction, or there's some explanation for this. Let's see. People are saying in the chat, Roger said today, so Tone actually lost. So that could be a confusion, because if it is today, Tone only has the 8 hours in the day remaining, not the full 24 hours. It's tough to say. Eight, and it did clear in 10, which is pretty fast. But this anomaly is very strange. I don't know much about it. Maybe somebody explain it, but check that out. Check out Roger's video. I'm sure Tone's talking about it. Check out the Tone channel. But on with the show. Dennis Parker wrote in, said that there's new currency options in Microsoft Excel. Look at that. You can list in Bitcoin right in Microsoft Excel. This is one of the results of Bitcoin getting that Unicode character. When they added Bitcoin to the keyboard, not directly to the keyboard yet, but when they added it to the keyboard set, or the character set that they allow you to make, that opened up for something like this to happen in Excel. So this is great to see. I wonder if it's there in Google Docs or in Open Office or any of the other things that people use that are similar to Excel, but still Excel's the main one. So it's great to see Bitcoin in there. Oh, we've got a little comic strip here. Looks like kind of a New Yorker comic. It says, central bankers and hedge fund managers meeting after Bitcoin brushing 9,000 mark. And they're all sitting at the meeting, and it says, we need to rethink our strategy of hoping that Bitcoin will just go away. I think so too. I don't think that's a good strategy. Excuse me. And we've got our long shot updates. Can this man keep the A's in Oakland? And Dave Cavall, the president of the Oakland Athletics, a baseball team, is trying to keep them in Oakland, not a very rich town, but a town that's lucky to have a baseball team with their football team leaving and their basketball team leaving. Of course, I'm rooting for the Oakland A's in this. I'd love them to stay the Oakland A's. But then I've got another iron in the fire, because if they move, they might become the Las Vegas A's, which would be more convenient for me. But I'm always rooting for Oakland. So it's a long shot. It's very tough to keep a stadium in a town that doesn't have the money to pay for a brand new stadium. We've also got another long shot today. NBC, the nasty broadcasting company, canceled AP Bio. This is a very disappointing thing to me. It's a very funny comedy. If you haven't watched it, Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia basically plays a kind of a psychopath teacher. He's a philosopher, and he's being forced to teach advanced placement biology. And he completely refuses to teach biology, instead recruiting the children for his revenge missions, which he all justifies with philosophical concepts. It's a great show, very funny. and we're tweeting it a lot these days. Sorry to bother everyone on Twitter, but hashtag save AP Bio. It's just a great show. I wish they would not cancel it. Maybe Hulu will pick it up. A great little comic here from Moon Overlord. When you and your squad are ready to celebrate Bitcoin back over 9,000, but the rally gets stopped at 8,950. And it's the SpongeBob guys, but they're dressed up like Dragon Ball Z. And I think one of these guys is Vegeta, the guy who goes crazy when he goes over 9,000. Maybe somebody can explain that, or maybe there's a great video about that, or I have to make one. I don't know. Sure, someone can explain 9,000 of Vegeta. This was great. The loudness of the F shouted by the astronomer who figured this out coincidentally was heard by alien life on another planet. And this is just a great story from the San Francisco Chronicle. Signals that baffled astronomers for 17 years traced to observatory's microwave oven. There it is. It's a microwave oven that was causing strange signals for 17 years. So just a reminder, even the smartest scientists can overlook something like that. And also, if you're an IT type person, if you're into fixing computers and fixing computer problems, you know what it's like. Somebody plugs a microwave in, or somebody unplugs part of your system. I've heard stories about large shows like Grateful Dead and other kinds of band shows that are going to go on, and somebody unplugs part of the speaker system to plug in their phone. And this happens all the time now. People plugging their phone in. So this is a another crazy story about the microwave oven at the observatory. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I'll go back for that later. Let's see. Breaking Bitcoin. They're thanking Refill. Sorry, Bit Refill is now sponsoring Breaking Bitcoin. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Bit Refill. Everyone should check out Bit Refill. It's a cool service. It started out, you could use it to refill your cell phone with Bitcoin. Very cool for people in other countries where they're using pay by the minute or pay by the data cell phone plans. They've expanded now. I hear they have gift cards, all kinds of other stuff. Check out Bit Refill. Thanks to them for sponsoring the Breaking Bitcoin conference in Amsterdam. We're going to be talking more about conferences later, but just wanted to talk about that. And of course, how important it is that everyone should buy a ticket to these conferences. Even if you can't go, it would be pretty cool if you bought tickets just as a show of support, especially if you're kind of crazy well off. That would be cool. But we need to support these Bitcoin conferences, or we're only going to have ICO scam fests. Wow, what was that? Navy pilots report unexplained flying objects. Now, I don't know what to say about this story, but I think it's important. There's some very strange circular flying, glowing, making inhuman moves, like drone type moves, like you couldn't put a person inside. There's too much G-force, making crazy moves, and the pilots have been seeing them for years now. So this is getting more and more declassified. I don't have any reason or understanding of what this is or could be, but I'm very interested in it. Could be space aliens. Here's a cool GIF that I saw. Give you a chance to watch it. It's Bitcoin. He's got the door kind of open to 8,500, and boom, Bitcoin bursts right through the door, knocks his buddy down. Very much the way we went through 8,500. Cool GIF from Joe Cow at Te Joe Cow. I had a little criticism of Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong, as you know, is still on Twitter for some reason. And he says, maybe tech companies need a new way to go public, referring to this article that says Wall Street isn't buying what Silicon Valley is selling. And of course, they're talking about the Uber and the Lyft IPOs. And I responded on a little tweet, being a little cheeky. He said, the fact that Wall Street is rejecting infinite debt companies that don't make a profit is clearly a problem with the IPO system. And once again, there's nothing wrong with the IPO system. You have to fill out a bunch of forms and join the stock market. It's a little difficult, but it's protecting consumers. If we have a system completely without consumer protection, you're going to see a lot more people losing their savings, losing their life savings, and then we're going to have to deal with that. But yeah, once again, Brian Armstrong shouldn't tweet. I'm not sure he should tweet anymore, and I'm not sure he should run his company anymore. Just nothing wrong against the guy, I'm sure he's great. But once you're a billionaire, once your company succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams, you might wanna have some kind of professional come in and run it. The same kind of professional who would stop you from tweeting. So I was on the Ugly Old Goat channel. Check that out on Bitcoin. Check that out on YouTube. The Ugly Old Goat. He's doing a little Bitcoin Saturday night, and there we are. Shout out to BTC Grinder who made us into a GIF. Mad Bitcoins and the old Ugly Old Goat. You guys can check that out. It was a fun show. We had a good time. We're gonna go on a cruise later this year with Ugly Old Goat, and maybe you it's called the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. You can find out about it at uglyoldgoat.com. And it's going to leave Los Angeles and go to Ensenada. It's a 3-day cruise, Thursday through Sunday. And I've never been on a cruise. So sounds like fun. Probably. I don't know. Hopefully I get sea legs or whatever it is. Now another shout out. Join us in Essen, Germany this week, May 30th to 31st at blockchainhotel.de. Use the code MADBitcoins25 for 25% off. There's real people. This is a real Bitcoin conference, and please support Blockchain Hotel. You can get a discount if you use that code, and I'm going to be there, and that's part of my travel plans. More on that here. 54 years ago today, one of the most iconic photos in sport, Ali versus Liston 2, captured by the great Neil Leifer. And just a stunning and amazing photograph. Ali standing over Liston. This is after he had unleashed a flurry of punches on Liston after letting him punch him over and over again, the rope-a-dope. And just a fantastic shot. Especially you can see the bald gentleman through Ali's legs, the other cameramen looking at it, the guy with his glasses off, the people in the background, just incredible detail and quality, a wonderful and excellent Muhammad Ali photo. The EU should adopt EU English as its official working language. Interesting article from European-views.com talking about how if the British really do leave the EU with Brexit, this gets a chance for the EU to get rid of British English. That doesn't quite mean that they're going to American English, but it does sound like they've made a variation of English. And as they were talking about in the article, this way, no one gets to use their own language. Everyone's using a second language. This could be maybe the end for other languages, a creation of a universal English that we could all speak so we could all do business together as we all do already or anyway. But interesting side effect of Brexit is that they could lose their ability to control their language. So this could be, I don't know that they're going to shift the S's to Z's like America, or get rid of all the other the U's out of color and armor and other things like that. But interesting development from the EU Brexit front. And the Mad Bitcoins 4 begins tomorrow. I'm walking all around the house, all like Kermit the Frog, shaking and running, and I got to start doing my packing now. And I'm just trying to finish things up. This morning, as part of the tour, I went ahead and turned on Lightning payments for Tallycoin. We now accept Lightning payments. It was really English. It was really easy. I was putting it off for no good reason. It took well, unfortunately, I don't have my own Lightning node and everything. I'm not hip like that, but I do have OpenNode.co, and basically I just set it up, and they're a trusted third party, which isn't the best, but we're talking about Lightning Network here. It's probably $5-10 worth of money that I'm trusting them with. But now I do accept Lightning payments on Tallycoin. All I had to do was create an account with them. Of course, I did the 2FA. Then I copied and pasted the API key into Tallycoin and refreshed the page, and there it was. Mad Bitcoins was taking Lightning donations. So pretty cool. We got a couple of donations. Try to skip to this other. Oh, well, I can't seem to get that screen on the screen. But we got a couple of donations. We're up to 14 from 11. The last couple were $1, and they were on the Lightning Network. So pretty cool. So check that out. There's a picture of it. You can see proof. It's all, the box is all lit up now. 10 Bitcoiners have joined to the Mad Tour 4. So we're up to 14. So if you'd like to join the 14, that'd be really cool. We're trying to raise $1,000 to send Mad Bitcoins to Germany to do more interviews for the World Crypto Network. We've raised, I don't know, around $294. So it's going pretty good. Also, I put out a cool tweet about all my Tallycoin fundraisers, how I'd like to 100% them. Look pretty cool, and how I'm 29% of the Mad Tour, 32% of the Mad Tour 3, only 2% towards the Bitcoin poker tournament. So if you enjoyed Mad Bitcoins playing in and then later commenting and hosting the poker tournament, donate to that fundraiser to help recoup costs on there. But we are 0.08% of our way to the Mad Bitcoins $1 million for the World Crypto Network. So if you'd like to donate, we're keeping those fundraisers open on tallyco.in/Mad Bitcoins. You can check out all my fundraisers. And there we go. We got our first Lightning donation recently. It was $1. It was 11,323 Satoshis. Pretty cool. And then we started Bitcoin Talk Show. So we're checking out the fundraiser right now. We're up to our 15th donation, thanks to donor number 15. And it looks like we got a couple of Lightning donations for 1,000 Satoshis and 1,000 Satoshis, and a couple of other Lightning donations for 11,000 Satoshis and 11,000 Satoshis. But the fundraiser goal has gone up to 31% completed. So it must be because the price of Bitcoin's going up. There's another graphic about that, but they're saying in the chat they want to do the price prediction about the price of Bitcoin. Let's see what else I got. Oh, I was going to talk more about conferences. I will do that in a minute. I'm going to drink some water here. Now, remember this indicator that we're about to use to predict the Bitcoin price. It's a very finicky indicator and only answers yes or no questions. So we're going to keep it really simple this morning. We're going to say, will the price of Bitcoin keep going up? Now, there's no range in there, but we'll assume it means shortly. But here we go. We got it out. You can check the top, make sure that it's official. This is one of the official price indicators right here on the World Crypto Network. Will the price of Bitcoin keep going up? It is. My sources say no. So there it is. We've reached the top of this rally. We might retreat after 9,000. The ball has spoken. This is our magic Bitcoin ball. It's a price indicator. It's a predictor. It's a very impressive indicator. You should listen to it. Previously, it said the price was going up. So you heard it here first. Price is going down. Indicator says we have reached the top. Magic Bitcoin ball. Just wanted to update you guys about my conference schedule. Working on a little, maybe a Medium article. Also working on a new version of the World Crypto Network homepage here. We've got an events list. You guys can check that out. And I hope to see you guys at some of these events already this year. We went to CoinFest UK in Manchester, and we went to Understanding Bitcoin in Malta. Now we're going to Blockchain Hotel in Essen, Germany. That's on May 30th and 31st. Then we're going to Breaking Bitcoin, June 8th through 9th in Amsterdam. And following that, we'll be going to Unchained on June 14th through 15th in Berlin, Germany. So if you're anywhere in the Germany, Amsterdam neighborhood, I hope you guys will check out these Bitcoin conferences. You can just Google their names or check out the links on World Crypto Network. It's going to be a great time. A lot of people are going to be there. I've got all the graphics here. Blockchain Hotel. This is a great conference in Essen. Very cool place, very small, very friendly. I get to talk to a lot of people there, and you get to hang out on the roof. So very cool. Then we're going to Breaking Bitcoin in Amsterdam. This is a great conference. It was in Paris before. Now it's in Amsterdam. Sounds great to me. It's an excuse to go back to Amsterdam. So all right with me. And then we're going to Berlin for Unchained Bitcoin and Blockchain Convention. So times are counting down. Thanks to everybody for the donations. It really helps pay for flights and Airbnbs, things like that. But this is Bitcoin Talk Show. We want to talk to you. So we're going to go ahead and get, I want to get the chat going because I wanted to review what you guys have been talking about already. especially curious to see your opinion on the Roger Ver Tone Vase story. If you guys think that's if you side with Roger, if you side with Tone, what kind of things you got. But we've also got here's the phone number here. I'm gonna put the headphones on. I didn't do a test this morning, but it's been working pretty good. You can call us now on Skype at World Crypto Network, all one word. Just add us as a friend and you can call, or call us on the phone at 1-518-600-1949. I also put the number in chat. So check that out. We're going to keep the phone lines open, not for very long. It's kind of a holiday morning. Maybe we'll keep it open till 10 o'clock here if there are no calls. So about 12 more minutes of a show. I think I'll just talk about the chat until then. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Uvos recommends a good movie today about World War One. They Shall Not Grow Old. I don't know that one, but it sounds like a good one. One of the ones I watched about World War One, of course, the All Quiet on the Western Front is a great book and a great movie to the black and white original version about World War One. But also, I think it was called The Best Times of Their Lives, something like that. Most people, I don't think, have heard of it. It won all the Oscars in the 30s or whenever it was released, and it's a black and white film, and it's just so heartbreaking to have people who were, working a job at the counter or working bagging groceries, then they have to go off and pick up this rifle, and then they never come back, stuff like that. So, very sad stories with the war today. People are saying, "How's it going, hodlers?" Game of Thrones has a question. Why do we make all military personnel heroes? I think plumbers and electricians are more of a hero than military. What are we protecting in 130 other countries? He also says teachers and nurses too, all professionals. So that's pretty interesting. I agree. It's a tough thing with the military thing. You can't really even speak against it, especially during wartime, as we are in the war of terror that started in 2001. And I think it's tough, especially when you have Trump out there allegedly considering pardoning people for war crimes. A lot of strange stuff out there. There are good soldiers, there are bad soldiers, there are good wars, there are bad wars. I don't know. If you really think about it from a Hemingway perspective, it's there's nothing good about it. There's nothing good on either side. It's kind of seen a lot of people as a necessary evil, something that we must have. It's seen by other people as something that we don't need that leads to us using it. So there's a lot of thoughts out there about the military. It's a complex issue. I don't think we're going to be able to cover it all here. But I do agree with Game of Thrones. It's an interesting point. It's an interesting question. Why are we just honoring the military? Why don't we honor teachers and nurses, or even police officers are also in a violent profession? So, but that's a complex question. So. Rolando Tech is just here for the ball price forecast, and you heard it. The magic Bitcoin ball said it thinks we've reached the top. It said no, price is not going to go up anymore. So we'll have to check in with the ball again soon to get a better story on that. We were talking about Cabbage Tech and how the World Crypto Network video was used in evidence against Cabbage Tech. He came on the show with a Guy Fawkes mask, but he didn't disguise his voice, and he was also talking about his own company, so it was pretty easy for them to figure out who that was. Let's see. Richie Rich says he saw that show live. PK McDonald, something like that. Oh, we've got a new donation on Tallycoin. Thanks so much to our new donor. Let's see if we can check that out. We're up to 15 donations. Oh, I don't know. Tallycoin brings up a notification now for me. It's pretty cool. It's really amazing. A DJ booth just keeps adding new features to Tallycoin. Uh, Maybe too many features, but I like a lot of them, and it's exciting to have new features on an open source project that's just free like that. It's pretty amazing that anyone even bothers to help people raise money on the internet. People are talking about the chat. They say people are front running the Mad Bitcoins tour, which is a good idea. The Mad tour has driven the price up. When I started the original Mad tour, my very first time in Europe, I think the price of Bitcoin was around $2,500. As I traveled, it rose from 5 to 7. and when I returned home, it broke open to 20. So there is a chance the most recent tour where I was in England, the price did rise from 3,000 to about 5 to 7,000. So take your chances there. Consider it as a indicator as it is. Let's see. We're talking about the Roger Ver story and the Tone Vase bet. Moonshine Fuel says that one day is 24 hours the last I checked. Jed Powers watched it closely and said, Roger said, today. So Tone actually may have lost the bet excuse me, based upon a technicality of there only being 8 hours left in the day and it taking 10 hours for Tone's transaction. Then it's a question of did they mean a day? Did they mean today? What was the official words of the bet? Yuva says, God, I hate defending Tone. It is tough, and he might even be wrong in this case. Like, that makes us defenders of Roger. So, not a great place to be, but that's a if you know they make the bet, if that's the bet they made, it's not my business, not my opinion. Obviously, journalists don't really make bets. It's not really something you do covering the media. But oh well, day could mean age back in my day. Jed and then we're talking about words mean a lot. They should have defined the terms better, and that's what you really do have to do for a bet. You really have to know who's going to win by what happens if you win, how much you pay, all those kind of things. They say the Oakland A's can hire Bernie Madoff and the Wilpons and the Sterling Mets did. Yeah, that got a lot of victories and championships for the Mets, although they did get a new stadium, which seems to be the only thing that baseball teams really care about is a new stadium. Uh, the Rolando says the time is not the point here. Tone clearly cheated with help from the minders. So that is an outstanding question why the transaction was added to that block, why it was promoted above other transactions that paid more money. We'll see if we can find out. Very strange. Um, Kong Ming says, don't mess with the wall of sound. Yeah, we need that. Grateful Dead, incredible stereo system that they made for playing concerts back in the day. Pretty much revolutionized and influenced every concert after that. So go read about that. Bit Refill doesn't have a lightning channel, so Bit Refill has got to get that done. If I see John Carvalho in Amsterdam, I will tell him personally that they need to add Lightning Network to Bit Refill. I think they're working on it. I don't want to like expose any insider information, but I do believe Bit Refill is working on Lightning Network. But they need to work faster. They should all write on Ver's Twitter post to shame him as a bad loser. Well, we're not so sure he lost. I'm not so sure. We need first of all very clear terms of the debt of the bet. Then we need strange information about this cheating and maybe you just justify it by saying, well, cheaters allowed, so everything's fine. I don't know if you justify that. Or maybe, oh, Roger didn't specify that you can't have your friend add it to the block. That's pretty weaselly. I don't really like that. Maybe if enough people write, I don't know. I'm sure Roger gets a lot of negative tweets. He probably mutes them all. So, yep, not hip with the Lightning Network. I think it's super cool. I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just I'm kind of slow on the upkeep. I don't exactly use beta versions of Windows anymore, but I'm excited to see the Lightning Network get easier and easier to use. Whereas I'm using it right now, and I don't even know that I'm using it. Sure, I'm using a trusted third party, OpenNode.co, to collect my Lightning payments. I imagine I can bundle them up into a Bitcoin transaction and take them out of there when I'm ready. But it was a really easy way to get Lightning going. So I definitely recommend that for now. hopefully, hopefully they don't run off with my $10 or whatever, but that's okay. Shout out to Dolphin134. He says this channel is where he started crypto. Thanks so much, Dolphin, for sticking with us, and good luck on your crypto journey. It's been exciting for me. I hope it's been exciting for you too. Everyone's got their 9K memes, Vegeta ready to go, but the Magic 8 Ball said no. People like the indicator. We might be able to sell that indicator. We're working on some licensing agreements. where we will be able to sell the Bitcoin indicator directly to you. Then you could have your own home version. Remember, these indicators are not synchronized, they're not strategically linked yet, but they are all incredibly powerful Bitcoin price indicators. So check it out. Why won't Roger admit he lost? I'm not so sure. Then now we're talking German here. Okay, let's see. Rollo, Lass und Nen Schnaps Soffen Kuli. I know very few of those words. Something about Schnaps, though. Nach, nicht heut, muss nach en den Gym. Well, not heut means today, so not today. Going to the gym, something like that. So there you go. I'm still working on my German. I'm on day like 134 consecutive of Duolingo. I do a couple of lessons a day. It's not that much, but it's fun, and I know way more words than I used to. So I'm totally looking forward to going to Germany. I think that's going to be pretty amazing. And let's see, the mempool was empty 2 hours after Tone's transaction got preferred anyway. So it's not that much of an inside job. So that's pretty interesting that the mempool did go empty. So Tone's transaction likely would have completed within 12 hours, still would have been confirmed within 24 hours. Depends about the details of the debt. So here we are. According to Audio Video Tweaker, Roger put Tone on the spot. Roger said confirmed by today. Tone said confirmed within 24 hours. So there we go. And he says Roger didn't oppose that. So if Roger did agree to transaction confirmed within 1 day, which is usually what you're talking about, you're usually not talking about, I need it before midnight. You're usually talking about, I need it within the next 24 hours. If you needed a Bitcoin transaction within the next 24 hours and you wanted to use a penny, it sounds like you had to wait 10 hours when something strange happened, or 12 hours for the mempool to be completely empty. So it sounds like it would have gone through either way, but something strange happened with that transaction. So we'll see about that. And it might just be a coincidence or some other kind of thing. So Yuval says Roger was claiming it would take 2 weeks or longer. So a day or even a couple days is way less than 2 weeks. And Jed Powers is disagreeing with Audio Video Tweaker, saying 24 hours was never said by either party. He suggests watching the video. And that's why with a bet like this, it's very important to get the terms down in English, maybe even on a Twitter or a document. I'm saying get them down in writing so that you both understand the terms of the bet, especially if you're betting more than like $10. I mean, you're going to bet, I believe the bet was $10,000. If you're going to bet $10,000, you should get it in writing. So I don't have more information on that. Just interested from the sidelines. So but thanks so much to everybody for joining us today on Bitcoin Talk Show. We're going to try to keep the phone lines open, but people are probably just enjoying their Memorial Day, taking some time off. I want to give a shout out to our latest donors here on Tallycoin. I remember you can use Tallycoin for yourself at tallyco.in. Tallycoin is a new kind of fundraising website where you give them a Bitcoin address, they give you a cool web page that looks like this, and you don't have to give them any of your donations because it's your Bitcoin address. So it's really amazing. It's a great idea. DJ Booth in Australia is building it out. It's really amazing. And we just had another donation. Thanks so much to 28,696 Satoshis sent anonymously using the Lightning Network. 56,000 Satoshis, 1,000 Satoshis, 1,000 Satoshis, and our two payments for 11,000 Satoshis. So since we turned the Lightning Network on, all of our donations have been in Lightning Network, which is very cool. We're seeing some of the amounts start to creep up a little bit. 10 cents, 10 cents, 98 cents, $4.90. That's pretty cool. And $2.50. So thanks so much to our Lightning donors and everyone else for donating. We just hit the 30% of our goal mark. We're now at $300 towards our goal of $1,000. If you'd like to buy the whole fundraiser, you could just send us $7,000 or $700, and we'll stop talking about it pretty much. Although, really, if you want to know, it does cost more than $1,000 to travel. but we're just hoping for a little bit of flight money here. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Everyone's still having a good old debate about tone and the bet with Roger there in the chat. So say what you will about bets. They might not be for traditional journalists, but they do get people talking and they make things interesting. And there we go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hello, caller. You're live on the World Crypto Network. What's your name and where are you calling from? Oh, we got a little bit of a delay. Are you still with us?
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Going good, man. This is Kong Ming down here in New Mexico. It's going good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Getting ready to go traveling. I got to go put all my stuff in my suitcase next. This is it.
Oh, hey, good luck.
Yeah, down to it. So what's on your mind about Bitcoin this morning?
I wanted to wish you a happy Memorial Day. And,
Thank you.
Thanks for all the updates. I appreciate your contributions.
Thank you, man. Enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. I was trying to send you a tip there over the Lightning Network. My transaction timed out a couple of times, so I'm not sure what's going on, but work on that, getting that over to you.
That sounds good. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say there's some minor problems with the network where you try to send it, it doesn't work, or maybe you have to wait an hour and come back, something like that. But still, if it works, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still trying to get a little bit more in terms of outgoing capacity on my channels, so maybe that's part of the issue.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, didn't have a whole lot to say. Just wanted to advocate that everybody, control your own keys. Recent reminders from the Bitfinex and Binance hacks. Get that stuff on a cold wallet, guys. I would advocate for the cold card from Rodolfo and CoinKite.
Yeah, definitely. It's very important to have a hardware wallet to get your money off the exchanges. I was saying the other day, the only way to 100% protect yourself from an exchange getting hacked and you losing money is to put it on a hardware wallet. So it's a little unnerving for people, but remember you can do it slowly. You could just put 20 bucks on there. You can see how it goes. You can try it out. You don't have to put all of your money on there at once. You can also buy multiple hardware wallets. People don't think about that, but if you have a Bitcoin investment that's worth a lot of money, what is it to buy a second or a third Trezor? It's not that much money to help protect and preserve your investment. So think about that. Think about putting them in a safe deposit box or burying them in the backyard or whatever you're going to do. Keep your keys safe. It's very important.
Totally agree. Spread it around, and fees are not too bad yet. I moved over more than one BTC the other day, and the transaction fee was like $1 and change. So not too bad yet. I would say get it over while you can. Volumes are rising, so obviously use SegWit if you can, but yeah, keep it in cold storage.
Definitely, it's a good time to consolidate your addresses before fees get too high. But thanks so much for the call. Give us a call anytime.
Appreciate it, Thomas. Have a great day.
All right. You can call us now on Skype, World Crypto Network, all one word, or at 518-600-1949. I'll try to keep the phone calls open maybe for a couple more minutes here, but oh, there we go. Hello, caller. You're live on the World Crypto Network. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Thomas, it's Jed Powers from San Francisco Bay Area.
Hey, Jed, how's it going? What's on your mind about Bitcoin today?
Pretty good. Things are well. I just wanted to say that Bitrefill does have Lightning. I have a current channel open with Bitrefill, so they are already on Lightning.
That's what I thought. I don't know what that guy was complaining about in the Twitter comments or whatever it was, because yeah, I thought he was. I never want to repeat anything I hear, especially at some dinner somewhere. But I seem to recall John being at dinner and talking about how Bitrefill had really hustled and really got on it fast to get their Lightning implementation up, and it was important to them, and not like another wallet that we used to know that said Lightning was an altcoin and said they weren't going to support it. So a much better reaction from Bitrefill.
Cool. I just wanted to say hi and hey, start your tour, brother. We need to pump the price.
Well, thanks so much, Jed. We're getting ready for it. We're gonna leave tomorrow, and of course, keep on the Mad Bitcoins Twitter if you want. Maybe too many updates from the Mad Bitcoins tour, but I take pictures of everything. So
Awesome, buddy. I'm on there already. So you have a good trip, and we'll hopefully see you when you get back in the Bay Area.
that sounds great. Give us a call anytime. Thanks, Jed.
Have a good one, buddy. Bye.
Bye bye. All right, great. So people are calling in. You can give us a call on Skype at World Crypto Network, all one word, or 518-600-1949. And we're just heading towards the end of the show. People say there's big change coming. So many alts are faster. Yeah, I don't know that the fastest coin is the most important. We used to have coins back in the day that were actually just called fast coin. And that's what their whole proposition was, being fast. And it doesn't matter that much. I mean, what we're really competing against here, the actual settlement networks that banks use, something like escrow. Escrow takes 30 days. So if you can settle a large payment, the kind that you would do through escrow, like buying a house or buying a Lamborghini or whatever, and you can settle that in an hour or several hours if you want to be very safe about it, half a day if you're really going to give them the keys to the Lamborghini, that's an incredible new technology, and that's what Bitcoin is. It allows us to settle large amounts of money like that. With the Lightning Network, we can use it to settle smaller amounts of money. So I don't think that the speed is a major issue holding Bitcoin back. I think it was more of the number of transactions, the capacity of the network was a problem until the Lightning Network opened up a whole new place for these transactions to go. Of course, I do predict the Lightning Network will get full, and they will have to make another layer on top of the Lightning Network, and maybe many more layers after that. People wonder how we're going to get everyone in the world using Bitcoin if it's only 8 decimal places low, point 0.0000, 7 zeros and a 1. I think we could go lower with Lightning Network, and then I think we can go even lower with a Lightning 2 type network. But they'll have to work that out technically. That's just an idea that I have. I don't have a technical information on that. But thanks to Jed for calling in and letting us know that Bitrefill does take Lightning. Good for them. I thought they did. It didn't seem right to me. And shout out to everyone who's sponsoring a Bitcoin conference. That's very cool. And I hope everyone will join me at Essen for Blockchain Hotel. It's going to be a great conference. Then Breaking Bitcoin in Amsterdam. Then Unchained in Berlin. So I'm going to try to go to 3 conferences in about 3 weeks. Then I'm going to be heading back to the US to edit the videos and upload them. Stay tuned to the World Crypto Network. We've got new shows from Ben from Wales. We've got Bitcoin Coffee Break giving you an update on the markets every day. We've got Max from Germany giving you that deep technical information about the Schnorr signatures, the coin joins, and the Wasabi wallets. We've got it all right here on the World Crypto Network. And of course, we got the Proof of Work interview show every week. Check us out on Wednesdays around 9 a.m. We've got about 20 of those queued up, ready to go. And it's my goal to travel Europe to get more Proof of Work interviews for you so you can watch them right here for free on the World Crypto Network. If you like those interviews, if you like me traveling, please donate. We take Lightning now, and you can donate now to the QR code on your screen. Otherwise, thanks for joining us on this quick episode of Bitcoin Talk Show. Thanks to everybody for calling in. Give us a thumbs up and a share. Until next time, bye bye. I want to be on video. Bye bye. Say goodbye to this too, because I'm going on the road again. So, bye.